your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
I'm Mike Hebert, owner of Cantex Roofing and Construction. Every day is game day, and we'll get it right when it comes to your roofing, construction, windows, and mirrors. Call Cantex Roofing and Construction today. Together, we are one serving you.
Thoughts, comments, Yates Flooring Center chat line. Go to doublet973.com for that. The Visual Edge IT hotline, it is open too at 806-771-0973. Bullfighter writes in this morning, Jamie. On top of the great weekend, getting to see you guys, the Rangers sweep, I had another gem of bowling last night. He said the sixth frame messed him up in terms of getting a 300 game. That old bullfighter, he's going to get one of these days.
Still pretty good.
256 was his high yesterday. That is that's pretty outstanding. Should we get a Double T 97.3 bowling team up and make Bullfighter our team captain, and then we could kind of just rotate through and kind of climb on his back and let him take us to a championship in the bowling leagues?
Yeah, I think that's a great idea. I'll assign you that project.
Okay. Will you participate as well, or no?
Not if we want to win.
No, not if we want. Well, I mean, I bet you Jeff's a good bowler.
Jeff is a good bowler. Choice is a good bowler.
Choice is a good bowler. I bet Choice throws that thing but he throws it like 100 miles an hour down that.
It's about halfway down the alley before it hits.
Does he put his fingers in the ball, or does he just cup it and throw it?
I think he overhands it.
Does he?
Yeah.
Okay. Just throws it down there.
Yeah.
It's just one bounce and then splatters the pins.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. That's probably about right.
Isn't that what you would expect from Choice?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I saw this and thought of you this weekend, and thought that this probably would please you, by the NFL team that you follow. The Buffalo Bills have made a decision that O.J. Simpson will not be honored amongst other Buffalo Bill legends at the team's new Highmark Stadium. The team's president of business operations said, "We have made an organizational decision that he is not a fit to display inside our new stadium and family circle." The Bills will be honoring legends in the team's family circle outside the new stadium. It's an area that will display history about the team in Western New York. Simpson will not be honored there. So apparently they'd been debating whether to include him in the area, and the team design was preparing for both possibilities. His name was displayed in the Bills' old stadium as part of the Wall of Fame that was created in 1980. He was the first member inducted. It remained up there for years despite public debate. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I wouldn't say I'm happy about it. I wouldn't say I'm mad about it either. Just mixed emotions, just because it's sad. It
is sad. Mm-hmm. He was the first to rush for over 2,000 yards. He did it in a 14-game season. He did it in 1973. Obviously, that was well before his notoriety for the stabbing deaths of Nicole Brown Simpson and Ronald Goldman, of which he was ultimately found not guilty, but then was found liable for wrongful death in a civil court case a couple years later. And then he ended up spending time in jail in Las Vegas because of armed robbery, in which he was trying to steal back stuff that had been, he said, taken from him. Regardless, you can't
steal it back.
You can't steal it back, right? And he spent a long time in jail as a result of that. It's weird. I mean, because look, he may be the first to kind of have been, and the most famous to have been involved in something along those lines with those tragic deaths. Other teams probably have maybe not to the same level because O.J. Simpson was, he was bigger than life for many years. And what he did in 2003, with the 2003 rushing yards in 1973 was something that really you didn't think could happen, especially in a 14-game season. So, at any rate, they made that decision, and you're right. It's just sad at the end of the day.
Yeah, I think probably the right decision by the Bills. It's sad in so many different levels.
Mm-hmm. The immediate thought that I had is, okay, if you're going to do that, then probably what they shouldn't do, and I'm betting the Bills don't do this, is sell the jersey number 32.
I wouldn't think so.
I'm sure that there's people that do sell that, and sports shops that do sell that. Not that people are probably going to go around wearing them. You wouldn't think, at least. You wouldn't think, but I don't know.
I bet they do.
But there's probably plenty of people that do. Let's see here. Choice would be the Amish kid from Kingpin. Okay. This, for most of those countries, football is their national sport. That is the one thing that unites them. In the USA, we are seasonal fans. Well, plus, it's hard because these guys scatter to, various teams at various leagues at various levels, various time zones. It's just they're basically one-offs. It's not like there's there are teams here, obviously, but it's just the ones to follow are the Premier League and others like them. Let's see. Yesterday, Chuck Howley had a birthday, 90 years old. He's the only person to win the Super Bowl MVP on a losing team. He and Bob Lilly were my most favorite Cowboys on defense. They were really good, no doubt about it. They were very, very good. 6:38 this morning here on the Morning Drive. Take your comments as well this morning here on Lubbock Sports Station, Double T 97.3. The Yates Flooring Center chat line remains open all day long. It's flashing. It's a flashing green light today. Open. So is the Visual Edge IT hotline. This Day in Sports History comes up next. Reminder, we'll have baseball for you tonight. Astros and the Twins at 6:40 on 100.7 The Score. They're coming off of 2 losses. And the Red Hot Rangers taking on the Guardians of Cleveland tonight in Cleveland. This is City 3 of a 3-city trip. 5:30 the broadcast time, 6:07 or so. First pitch, then the Rangers are home this weekend as they'll celebrate the 4th of July at their place. So that'll be fun for them. All right, 6:40 this morning on the Morning Drive.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Time for This Day in Sports History. Today is Monday, June the 29th, 2026. 6/29/26. Here's Jeff McGuire with This Day in Sports History.
Gonna start us off in 1947. New York Yankees beat the Washington Senators 3-1, starting a 19-game winning streak.
Maybe it's a good omen for you.
That they lost yesterday?
No, today's the start.
That's true.
Today's the start.
It could start a 19-game win streak tonight. That's true. 1961, San Francisco Giant outfielder Willie Mays becomes the 4th player in Major League Baseball history with 3 or more home runs twice in one season, with a 10th inning blast in the Giants' 8-7 win over the Phillies in Philadelphia. I'm always amazed how many times Willie Mays comes up as like the 3rd or 4th person to do it in baseball history in like the 60s.
Yeah, right.
Like, at that point, they'd been playing baseball for 60 years, and he was the 4th person to do something. 1984, Montreal Expos infielder Pete Rose plays in his record 3,309th Major League Baseball game, surpassing Carl Yastrzemski of the Boston Red Sox.
Every time you bring up a Pete Rose Expo deal, it's like, man, I always forget that he had played for the Expos.
1990, A's Dave Stewart no-hits the Blue Jays, and Dodger Fernando Valenzuela no-hits the St. Louis Cardinals 6-0. First time 2 no-hitters one in each league at the same day.
That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2021, former Red Raider Daniel Coulombe enters the game in the 5th inning for the Minnesota Twins and faces 7 batters. He gets 6 outs, 3 strikeouts. Unfortunately, his team would lose 7-6 to the White Sox, but it was not his fault. They should have left him in because, 7 batters, 6 outs. That's a good ratio. That's the thing you're looking for. It is National Almond Butter Crunch Day. You don't like, what's it called?
I'll just say, it's just...
No, what am I thinking? It's not Cracker Jack, it's the other one. I can see the box, I just can't think of what it's actually called. But it's just, the popcorn and the almonds in it with the coating on it.
No,
not a fan?
No, thank you. I don't care for that.
Big time happy birthday going out to former Texas Tech wide receiver Dylan Cantrell. Turns 32 today.
Wonder what he's up to.
Hopefully good things.
Yeah, hopefully good things.
Lance Barber, 53. Kawhi Leonard, 35. Colin Jost, 44. And Gary Busey is 82 and still crazy.
Amazing he's still alive, to be just quite frank, right?
Mm-hmm. And on this day in 1995, the U.S. Space Shuttle docks with the Russian space station Mir formed the largest man-made satellite ever in orbit of the Earth. This would obviously be passed later by the International Space Station. But this historic moment of cooperation between the former space programs was the 100th mission for the United States. And that is this day in sports history.
This day in sports history. The Russians are kind of going a little crazy right now with the space station. I mean, they were having some problems with an area, and they wanted to take a saw to it. And I mean, it's like almost a full-on revolt there going on in this.
Yeah, the U.S. guys were in the escape hatch going, go ahead, keep drilling. We're going to go this way. It wasn't until they suited up and were in there that the Russians went, maybe this is a bad idea.
Yeah, maybe this is a bad idea. Somebody offers...
Crunch and Munch is the one I was thinking of.
Crunch and Munch? Okay, I've never heard of Crunch and Munch. Fiddle Faddle, I've heard of Fiddle Faddle.
That's the same thing.
But
they're both tasty.
But it's caramel. Fiddle Faddle's more caramel, right?
I don't know. They're both tasty. I don't know. I like them both. I like popcorn, so pretty much anything you do to popcorn, I'm in.
Okay. You like, do you like the Fiddle Faddle, Jamie, or the Crunch and Munch? Have you ever heard of Crunch and Munch?
I've heard of both. I don't ever remember trying Fiddle Faddle, but Crunch and Munch was fine.
Okay. I'm kind of the oppo. Heard Fiddle Faddle was great. Never heard of Crunch and Munch. Somebody says, morning, y'all. Good morning to you as well. One other soccer note. I saw this and went, wow, boy. Hope anybody doesn't get this idea here national in the United States. Uruguay, the federation, canceled the team's charter flight home, and the team flew commercial after elimination. Apparently, they canceled their charter flight to take the players from their base camp in Mexico back to their capital city of Montevideo. This is according to Uruguayan broadcaster Tenfield. Instead, players will be left to take commercial flights either home or to vacations with their family. They were not happy with the loss to Spain, which allowed Cape Verde to advance to the knockout rounds. One of the most, quote, shocking group results in the history of the tournament. It is a mortifying result for a squad overwhelmingly favored to advance over Cape Verde and Saudi Arabia. Apparently, the manager of the Uruguay soccer team also went viral yelling at journalists in a post-game interview in whatever language they speak there, Uruguayan or whatever it is. Their winless performance marks the end of a situation that had rampant infighting under their coach, who had joined them in 2023. And their goalkeeper, Luis Suarez, retired from international play after a dispute with the coach.
In Uruguay, they speak Spanish.
They speak Spanish. Okay. That's kind of bad.
Sounds like that was a major disappointment.
Yeah,
I'm sure it probably worked out better for some of them if they're heading straight to go on vacation with their families.
Right.
They just meet their families there.
Yeah, just hey, we're off to the beach, or we're off to Disney World, or we're off to Paris. Maybe take a picture at the Eiffel Tower with their families.
I hate that the broadcaster was the one that released that information.
Yeah, and when I say
seems a bit weak saucy to me.
And I say broadcaster, and I kind of thought the same thing, Jamie, but it might be how they term their media there too. It might be like might not necessarily be their play-by-play guy per se. Could be could be, but I'm with you on that.
Because it sounds like he's whining about it.
It does.
And just so you know, dude, you did nothing. You didn't, make one kick. You didn't stop one ball. Yeah. A shot on goal or whatever.
You didn't run anything.
You're just the broadcaster.
Right. Yeah.
Don't
I think
forget to know your role.
Yeah. And I'm not, like I said, I think it was more broadcaster and kind of their media, not their quote per se individual broadcaster. But maybe not. Somebody brings up fiddle faddle as a choice. Fiddle faddle. This show sometimes could be described as little fiddle faddle ish, or fiddle faddle. Okay. A little fiddle faddle. Yeah.
And repetitive.
Yeah, there's that too. Mm-hmm. There is that too. See, I just did it for you, Joe. 6:54.
The Morning Drive podcast from Double T 97.3 is presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
We've been talking about some college football playoff predictions by CBS Sports. The first three kind of pedestrian. Number 4, the group of 6 produces a first-time college football playoff entrant. How would you feel about one of these 4 teams getting into the college football playoffs, Jamie? Liberty, Boise State, James Madison, or Tulane?
Well, I mean, it seems like that's pretty much a norm, right? That one's going to be in there.
One's going to be in there.
Yeah. So hopefully one of them is worthy of that.
Yeah. It feels like that, like of the schools that like deserve to be in that, like just based on their history and kind of what they've done, would be Boise State, would be maybe the one that would be the least annoying. Although they also add in
Tulane's been a good team the last few seasons.
Yeah, they have. UNLV and Memphis also deserving attention. This won't surprise you. Number 5, LSU enjoys the highest year-over-year increase in viewership. Lane Kiffin makes them, quote, must-see TV. They say love him or hate him, Kiffin moves the needle. Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And plus, look, if LSU is successful, man, it's going to be just bonkers down there in Baton Rouge.
Yeah, no doubt, and I totally agree with the point. You love him or hate him, everybody pays attention to what he's doing. So I think there'll be a team that everybody's very interested in seeing how things go this year.
Number 6, the Heisman Trophy winner comes from a top 4 seed, citing that recent history with the Heisman voting, that team success matters as much as individual brilliance.
This guy's just really out there on a limb, isn't he?
He is.
The next thing you're going to tell me is the Heisman Trophy winner is either going to be a quarterback or a running back for the best team.
Voters consistently gravitate towards quarterbacks and playmakers leading national championship contenders, not stars putting up gaudy numbers on 8 or 9 win teams. It's pretty much what you just said. That was the next sentence in his article.
And then they're going to not get the right people going at the end for the people who are being invited to New York.
All right, here's the Texas Tech reference. And
you didn't say anything about New York? Wow. Okay.
Yeah, he did not say anything about that.
I feel like you missed an opportunity there to get one right.
Yeah, he didn't talk about the ones that get to go to New York. This is not going well for me. Texas Tech.
Why is it not going well for you? You didn't write any of it.
I didn't write any of it. I just thought it was going to be a little more. I just thought it was going to be a little better than what it's turned out to be. Texas Tech BYU offers high December drama.
Yeah. Probably because it's a one-bid league.
Yeah.
And it's a play-in game to the college football playoff.
The Big 12 championship game. Yeah.
Yep.
Let me ask you this.
BYU's got a hard schedule, so I mean, if they made it through with just, man, if you feel like if they made it through undefeated and lost to Tech in the Big 12 championship game, that they would still be very deserving because their schedule is tough.
I was going to ask you, if you were to pick a league that would have two, ACC or Big 12, would you say the ACC would be more likely to have two than the Big 12?
Yeah, I guess so.
That's kind of a reluctant. Yeah, I guess so.
Well, I'd have to see the schedule. I'd have to see what the teams did.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard to just make a blanket statement like that.
Sure. They say that the Big Ten will continue its reign with a fourth straight title. He says if someone offered him Oregon, Ohio State, and Indiana against the field, he'd take that trio. Would you take that trio against the field for a national championship?
Oregon, Ohio State,
and Indiana.
I'd feel pretty good about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also citing USC, Washington, and Michigan. Okay. The Big Ten's three consecutive national champions have several things in common: elite defenses, manageable regular season schedules before the college football playoff, and disciplined football. Number 9, this will come as no surprise. Expect more calendar complaints. As the expanded postseason sounds great until you talk to the coaches. Their complaint is simple: the calendar is broken. Postseason preparation, portal evaluations, roster retention, NIL conversations, recruiting and signing day, all happening simultaneously. That's not a football calendar. That's controlled chaos.
Yeah, I bet we'll get more of that.
Mm-hmm. Players are bouncing travel, recovery, and future decisions.
Yeah.
I don't know about the travel so much. The recovery, maybe. I think it's really more on the coaches, things along those lines. Number 10. See if you agree with this. Only one unbeaten team entering the college football playoff, and it's going to be Miami or Notre Dame, since the two teams will meet in November.
Okay.
Okay.
So they think both of their schedules are pretty manageable after that game. Mm-hmm. No, I would go against that. I would bet against that.
Be more than one.
Yeah,
okay.
I'd bet against that
going into that
because I think the Red Raiders
are going to be could be 13-0.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 12-0 in the regular season, and then win the Big 12, and that puts you at 13-0. If you're 13-0. Don't you feel like that you're at least a top 5 team going into the college football playoff?
I would think that you'd get one of those top 4.
Top 4 spots?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't know if we really want that or not.
Yeah. Would you rather play a home game?
It's not that. I'd just rather play a game and not have that much of time off in between.
Mm-hmm.
But the home game would be great, sure.
Yeah, I mean that'd be bonkers, wouldn't it?
Well, it'll give you a better chance to win the game. That's the most important part. I'm not thinking about the bonkers part. I'm thinking about the advancing part.
Yeah, right. You leave the bonkers up to me. Yeah.
We do.
Okay.
I think that's a given, right?
I mean, yeah, I'll bring the bonkers, and you bring reality. Yeah. I could see Notre Dame taking the villain role from Tech at the end of the season because of the new guarantee they have in terms of ranking and getting into the college football playoff. Okay, maybe on a nationwide basis.
Okay. Well, it's funny that even Notre Dame hates us.
Yeah, right.
They're angry with us for Joey McGuire's comments going back to last year.
Yeah. A 10-2 Notre Dame team could push other 10-2 Big Ten and SEC schools out, and people will be up in arms.
Yeah. Speaking of the Notre Dame thing,
if their schedule is so weak that they're pretty much guaranteeing that they're undefeated or at least just one loss, and they end up with 2, and who's that bad team that beat them?
Mm-hmm.
And why are they not being punished harshly enough for it? I'm sorry, Jeff.
No, that's okay. Weren't we supposed to get an announcement of Tech playing a new Power 4 team? Like, there was speculation with Notre Dame, USC, somebody?
Yeah.
Yeah. We didn't get that, I didn't miss it, did I?
No.
Okay.
No.
These are questions I'm asking now.
I wouldn't be surprised at all if that went by the wayside.
I wouldn't either, but it was pushed hard, like, hey, it's going to come out like Thursday.
Yeah, it seemed like it was going to be USC, and as harsh as a stance as some of these conferences took against the Red Raiders, it seems like it wouldn't have been a good time for USC to be announcing that.
Here is here's the Notre Dame schedule. They play Wisconsin, Rice, and Notre Dame. Okay.
Notre Dame plays Notre Dame?
I'm sorry, Michigan State. Wisconsin is in Green Bay. Rice is at home, and then they play at home against Michigan State. They play at Purdue, at North Carolina. They play Stanford. They play at BYU October 17th. That'll be a dandy.
Go Cougars.
They play Navy on Halloween in Foxborough. They play Miami on November 7th at home. That'll be bonkers there. November 14th, they play Boston College at home. November 21st, they play SMU at home. And November 28th, they play Syracuse.
Your daily dose of sports and fun. This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3. Presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Jamie's question of the day on Double T 97.3 is brought to you by Connecticut of West Texas.
All right, gentlemen, we're talking Big 12 football today, and I asked you this very simple question. Tell me the 3 teams/coaches that have the most pressure on them going into the 2026 football season from the Big 12.
Okay. 3 teams/coaches that have the biggest pressure on them going into this season. I think number 1 on that list, even though he got a new deal, he's not number 1. I'm going to say, I'll say number 3, Sonny Dykes, TCU. I think number 2 on that list is I think there's probably some pressure on the Arizona coach, even though they went 6-3, 8-5. So I'll say Arizona's coach. I can't recall his name off the top of my head.
Brent Brennan?
Yeah, I think he's number 2. And I think number 1 on the list, and could very likely not survive the season, is Dave Aranda at Baylor.
Okay.
Number 3, Coach Dykes. Number 2, Coach Aranda. Number 1, Coach McGuire.
What?
Pressure doesn't need firing. Pressure means you got to win this Big 12 championship.
Right. I think number 1 and 2 is a mile and a half behind it is Joey McGuire.
You do?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm not talking about he's going to get fired.
No,
if he
no
doesn't
danger.
win.
Okay, I got you.
I said team/coach.
Okay.
Texas Tech has all the pressure on them. They are the villain. Everybody wants to see them fail. There's pressure that comes with that.
When you are playing everybody's Super Bowl, that's pressure.
You got a massive target on your back. All the above. That is by far, in my opinion, number 1. Number 2, I would go Dave Aranda of Baylor. I don't see the pressure on TCU and Sonny Dykes at all. I know that they hate what Texas Tech's doing and all that good stuff, but he's still winning for them. They'd be silly to make a change right now. I think number 3 on my list is Scott Satterfield in Cincinnati. You can all day long talk about Cincinnati didn't know, they blah, 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 blah. But the people on the inside there, their fan base knows, hey, we were winning, or we couldn't win with that guy, okay? And he was really good for us, and we couldn't win with him. We couldn't be a dominant program with him. I don't remember what they finished at last year, but did they make a bowl game? Thought they got off to a great start and then really stumbled down the stretch. But I think he's got to have a good season, and I don't think it's going to happen, or he's gone.
Okay.
I think all this drama surrounding us, their people know, hey, we still couldn't win big with that guy.
Mm-hmm. They went 7-6 last year.
Yeah.
Cincinnati did.
So yeah, they barely made a bowl game. Yeah.
Okay.
So I think there's a lot of pressure there on Satterfield and Cincinnati.
I failed the test again. Yeah, you're right. I mean, I think Coach Ward. I think there's enormous pressure on the team, the organization, the head coach. I think they embrace that pressure, though. Don't you?
We'll see. We'll see. They're definitely going to say they are.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not going to say, "Oh man, I'm over here shrinking in my socks."
That's got me a little bit nervous. No, they're going to say they are, but we'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see. I think another one is Kansas and Lance Leipold. Mm-hmm. They're heading in the wrong direction in a big time hurry. He embarrassed them last year, and I think that I think there's the ice is thinning a little bit underneath his feet.
I was debating between TCU and Colorado for my third spot.
Yeah, the reason I didn't have Colorado on my list, I just have a hard time thinking they would fire Deion. But I think Deion's going to retire.
Yeah, I think he's more likely to walk away than for them to fire him. Yeah, I agree.
It wouldn't shock me if it was partway through the season.
If he just gets kind of bored with the whole thing.
Well, and he starts citing health reasons and all that, and just moves on.
Yeah, which he has had. He has had some health reason with his.
But if he was winning,
et cetera.
Would we have any of this conversation?
Nope.
And I think he thought he could. I mean, they did. They had a special year, but it wasn't special enough for them to be able to sustain it.
I will be interested to see how things go with West Virginia and Oklahoma State this year with their two new coaches and how expectations are handled with those two. I don't want to put them on this pressure mark. Like, they're not in my top 5 at all. But
well, Rich Rod, it's his second year.
That's right.
Rich Rod is his second year.
His second year. But his first off season. But I think your point is made with the 2-7 and what they did and 4-8 overall. They probably expected I'm interested
better.
to see how those fan bases handle that change. I mean, it's the first new coach for Oklahoma State in, since the Big 12 was a baby.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think Eric Morris is going to be given a lot of grace. I mean, they've turned over the whole roster.
Did you see how bad they were?
No, I know, but I mean,
a lot of room to improve there.
Right, no, 0-9 and 1-11. I mean, they went 0-9 the year before too, right? In the conference.
Ding.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think he has pressure.
I mean, he's just he's got a long ways to go there. And I think there's. So, is anybody playing with house money, Jamie, this year in the Big 12?
Vegas.
Is Oklahoma State playing with house money? Eric Morris for a year?
I wouldn't think so.
Okay. I mean, like, whatever you can do. I mean, just get us out of the ditch.
I mean, is there a honeymoon period of we're not going to fire after 1 year? Yes, but they don't have any money. How can it be house money?
I feel like
meaning they don't have any wins. He hasn't racked up something to say, well, I've done so great, it doesn't matter if we win anymore.
How
can he have house money when he never even stepped into the casino?
Probably not.
This is the Morning Drive Podcast from Double T 97.3, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction.
Hey, good morning. Hour 3 of the Morning Drive on Lubbock Sports Station Double T 97.3 and yours on television too on Fox 34 News Now. With Jamie Lent and Jeff McGuire, I'm Chuck Heinz. We come to you from the First United Bank studio here in downtown Lubbock and have your thoughts and comments on the Yates Flooring Center chat line. Hey, just a little tip for you. if you're a fan of the fireworks. Are you a fan of the fireworks?
Yeah, they're fun.
Okay. So, like, if you're wanting to see the city fireworks, which is July the 4th, part of 4th on Broadway and all that kind of stuff, I discovered this. Not that I want it to be overrun, but the Civic Center parking lot across the street from Buddy Holly Hall gives you a pretty good look at the fireworks from down in McKenzie Park. The angle's good. And you can sit there in your air-conditioned car with your lucky lady, or you can get a lawn chair out, and just kind of watch if the evening's nice and cool. But it was a good angle. And now if the city would turn the lights off, which I think maybe get a little bit darker, that would probably help. But I mean, it's a good angle if you don't want to fight the crowd. If you want to fight the crowd, then albeit, have at it. Enjoy. But if you don't, if you're just kind of like, I'm getting a little bit older, I don't really want to do that walk up and down that hill, and I just want to watch the fireworks after we've had a long day, doing whatever we're doing, cooking out, having family over, all those things. You just want to drive down to the Civic Center parking lot. That's a good angle for you. Just a little helpful hint, courtesy of my discovery last year. Okay,
good stuff.
All right, let me ask you this. Somebody says sitting behind Estacado High School is a good view as well. Hadn't thought about it from that angle. One year I was looking for the perfect angle, and I was going through the neighborhoods over there, and man, it was like a shooting gallery from the standpoint of bottle rockets and stuff going off everywhere, and that proved to not be a positive experience.
Coolest 4th of July experience I had, we were on a plane flying over.
Oh.
And there were you saw every little city's fireworks display going off.
Where were you going?
Cool. We were coming into Houston late. I don't remember where we were coming from, but we were heading home, and as we were coming in, all the little towns with their little fireworks displays going off. You could see them all from the air. So you see some going off left and the right, and that was really cool. So if you're a pilot and have your own plane, maybe you could charge people for rides, and you could get some night flying practice in and make some money out of it, and some people could get a really cool experience seeing all the fireworks.
Kind of do like a little circle.
Just circle around Lubbock, fly around the loop.
Maybe a loop-de-loop too while you're at it.
No, that would hurt.
Are you a fan of going out and watching the fireworks, or do you?
I've done it before, but
it's not on your hit list for this Saturday.
There's a much higher chance of me doing it on Saturday this year than it would have been when it was Thursday last year.
Yeah, right. Plus, you got your motorcycle, man. You can get anywhere with that thing.
Not about going. It's about waking up the next morning.
I understand.
Don't have to wake up on Sunday morning.
Don't have to. Right. All right. Let me ask you this: with the upcoming 2026 football season, is there an away game that you're like, I am going to go to that game because either A, I like the atmosphere, B, I haven't been there before, or C, it's going to be a really, really good football game? So your away games this year are at Oregon State on September the 12th, at Cincinnati on October the 24th, at Oklahoma State on October the 14th, at Baylor on November the 21st. Those are your away games. And then at Colorado on October the 3rd.
Most of your best games are at home.
Right.
Which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. So is there a place you haven't been and you're like, man, I'd like to go there. Maybe you've been there before and just like, okay, that's a cool atmosphere, or that's a different atmosphere, and I think it's just going to be fun to go watch a game on the road.
I would really love to go visit Oregon State or Colorado.
Okay.
I have not seen either one of those stadiums, and part of the country that I would enjoy, so those would be two. I mean, I wouldn't want to go to Waco or Stillwater.
Mm-hmm. Just because you've been there so much?
Just because I've seen those places, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The Cincinnati one, I think that's going to be an interesting atmosphere. I don't know that So I don't know that. I don't think they would appreciate us Red Raider fans very much there. That's probably why we should do our best to go. But
they don't think the welcome wagon's going to be, the red carpet's going to be rolled out or anything.
No,
like
don't think so.
Yeah, they'll be wearing. Well, they wear red and black, mostly black. But it'd be interesting to see if they wear their red jerseys for that game. We can wear black, be the villain, right? So that'll be interesting to see what happens with that game. We were kind of talking about that a little bit yesterday, me and the lucky lady. I've not, since they made all the renovations, I've obviously been by the stadium. I don't think I've been all the way through it with regard to Boone Pickens Stadium. It's a raucous environment when it's going. I mean, that's a pretty good rivalry. I don't know what kind of game that will be, but that's an easy drive. The Waco game going to Baylor, that's an easy drive as well. I'd be if I could, going to Cincinnati would be fun. That's a fun city. You got to experience that with baseball and kind of saw that, and that's that whole environment there. I think is going to be fascinating. To see what happens there. The trip to Folsom Field and Boulder, we've made that trip before. That is a long drive. That is one of those drives you just kind of, you just keep driving, and you keep driving, and you keep driving. But I will say this. One of the all-time breakfasts of my life was there in downtown Pueblo, having a breakfast just right down the street from the Christopher Columbus statue at this Mexican food place. It was to die for, Jamie. It was almost worth the trip.
Well, I'm glad you didn't die.
This has been the Morning Drive Podcast, presented by Cantex Roofing and Construction. Check out our library of Double T 97.3 podcasts at doublet97.3.com.